State of Illinois joining a Advanced Nuclear States Collaborative. That's an announcement yesterday. The Illinois Commerce Commission saying that they're selected to join the newly established Advanced Nuclear States Collaborative. It's a partnership between the National Association of Regulatory Utility Commissioners and the National Association of State Energy Officials, bringing together what they say is an effort to discuss the unique needs and challenges tied to deploying new nuclear generation. Now, in Illinois, we have a moratorium on new nuclear plants, and there's actually a measure that's moving through the State House. It passed the Senate and is now in the Illinois House to have the moratorium lifted in Illinois. Illinois already is a state that has some of the most nuclear power plants, but we also have a lot of restrictions coming down the pike on coal-fired power plants, with a lot of them looking to go offline by law. A measure that was passed, the Clean Energy Jobs Act, that Governor J.B. Pritzker established and passed, that closes coal-fired power plants in Illinois by a date certain, I think like 2040. Either way, you've got the question on how exactly that's going to help with the state's energy needs. If all we're going to rely on is wind and solar, what about battery technology? Is battery technology where it needs to be right now? So this could be an effort to try to, I guess, bridge that gap, whatever that gap may be. But there's some pushback. You've got Nuclear Energy Information Services. They're a group that says they want to make the world nuclear free, focusing on clean energy without nuclear. The director of that organization says the state's dedicating money to technologies, new nuclear technologies that don't even exist right now.
Its first proof of concept reactor will not be available until December 2029. That means that even if the thing worked, you're not going to have commercially enough of these built until the 2030s, maybe the 2040s.
So there's a lot of question as to when exactly this new nuclear technology is actually going to come online to where it's available, smaller module type of nuclear technology. Governor J.B. Pritzker, he, of course, got CEJA passed, the Clean Energy Jobs Act. He was asked about that yesterday at a conversation he had at Harvard University. Here's the governor sharing some of his thoughts about the state's energy policies and where we're heading here in the future. Again, Governor Pritzker at Harvard yesterday.
All of us need to be engaged in fighting climate change and doing it in whatever way we can. And in the state of Illinois, we had an interesting opportunity. We have the largest nuclear fleet of any state in the United States. Now, whatever your belief is about nuclear power, what you should know is that in the process of transition from fossil fuel to a world without fossil fuel and clean energy, having a nuclear fleet that is providing 52% of the power to the state is a pretty great advantage, and we need to rely upon that. Now, some of them are older plants and are less profitable or unprofitable, maybe. And so that's a negotiation between the state and the energy provider. In this case, it was Exelon. And trying to figure out, how to keep those plants open, and also make sure that we're not getting taken advantage of by a major corporation asking us for a lot of money from the state to keep them open. So, unlike my predecessor, where they signed a bill, sent a bunch of money to the energy provider, and the taxpayers paid, we actually did an audit of those power plants and discovered that we could do it for a sixth of the price and keep those plants open, and we did. So that was a big change. So we are on track now in Illinois and have a law in place that will eliminate fossil fuel energy production by 2050. And that means no coal plants. That means, we're reducing and eliminating natural gas plants. And we are significantly increasing wind, solar, and relying upon nuclear, and even looking now at removing the ban on nuclear, not to build any major new plants, but there's small nuclear reactors that are being developed now that are much safer, that could be used in places in Illinois where there's a lack of energy production. So that's something I'm very proud of. It's changed the direction. We're the only Midwestern state that's done something this massive, and indeed it's game-changing, I think, nationally. So proud of the work that we did on that.
So Governor J.B. Pritzker signaling he's open more to the idea of lifting the moratorium for nuclear energy, but you have this idea of what is it going to be? Is it going to be the traditional nuclear generation facilities that we have already in Illinois, or is it going to be more of these small modular nuclear situations where you've got small little devices that are helping generate all of this technology that critics say is not fully on board yet? So we'll watch that space and see what happens as everybody pays for it. You all pay for energy in the state of Illinois. You've seen your energy bills go up considerably in a lot of instances. So how are we going to help bridge the gap to what the states set us on, a path of getting rid of fossil fuel energy, reliable, there, ready to go, versus renewable energy through wind and solar, which the wind's not blowing and the sun's not shining. Hopefully your battery lasts as long as possible. All right. Appreciate everybody chiming in and looking in and hanging out. You can always like and subscribe, but also follow me on Twitter, Facebook. Just search Bishop On Air and we can connect.